Hey everyone, welcome to another Jam session. I've got David with us today, who's a part of our expert program. David, thanks for making the time to jump on today. Hey, just to get things kicked off, why don't you introduce yourself, tell the viewers what you do and who you help.
Hey, Vaughan, thanks for having me. Great to be here. Dr. David, retired dentist. I coach dental practices on how to get the results that I got in my practice. They were fun to achieve, and they've also been fun to help other dental practices to achieve that true potential of what a dental practice can really do, which is allow the owner to have these things. They can choose where they live, they can choose when they work, they can choose where they retire to, when they want to retire to, where they send their kids to school, and how they spend their money. And that's all the opportunity that a dental practice gives. It really is the bastion of free enterprise, the cottage industry that is untouchable.
That's fantastic, and I love, and I always have the enthusiasm and the passion you bring to it. Now, I've got to ask because we've been working together 15 months now. Way back in the beginning, do you remember what was the challenge? What was it that brought you to start working with us at the Influencer Project?
Well, Vaughan, I'm going to let you know a secret. Uh, I'm a closet hoarder sometimes of things, and one of the things that I had been hoarding over the recent years was LinkedIn connections. And I built up a big database of LinkedIn connections, but I had no idea what to do with them. So when I met Andrew and Rana at another coaching program, and they said, we can help you attract leads and tap into leads on LinkedIn. I thought, I'm already ahead of the game because I've got the database on LinkedIn. I'm already a couple of steps into this. So it was just a logical thing to start working with them and see what the process that the Influencer Project had. And I was correct. I was ahead of the game. I did have to sift a few categories out, but I'd already made a good start. I guess that's that hoarding principle. Don't tell anybody I'm a hoarder, like Penrith jerseys.
And or like the collection of books on the shelf behind you there as well.
I've read some
Um,
of them.
so I mentioned before that you've been with us for 15 months. I'd love to know what results have you seen? What have you managed to generate out of that hoarded collection of LinkedIn connections?
Well, I think that the first thing I've managed to develop is a systematic approach to what to do with those leads and what to do with my business generally. So I was really impressed with the when you connect with the processes that the Influencer Project gave me for when you connect with people and how to nurture them through an efficient appointment to discuss their problems and then come back to them with a solution and to get them to use my services. So that was really, really good. But leading into that was also setting myself daily parameters and targets of what I needed to do on a regular basis to achieve regular results. And the tracking programs with the Influencer Project gave me that data. I know that if I need to make X number of sales, I need to have this many sales calls preceded by this many strategy sessions, preceded by this many chats, preceded by this many dials. And so I know what I have to do. And I've learned what my dial limit is. It's like eating apples. You can't eat 365 apples in one day and say I'm fit for the year. An apple a day won't give you indigestion, but 7 apples in one day will give you indigestion. So I had to know what my limit was for daily calls, and I set that, and I stick to that very closely as well. And I like the discipline of that.
Yeah, we started that calling strategy. We call it Project 6.7. We started that, I think it was late last year. And so you've got into that rhythm now. What sort of results have you been seeing even over the last few months from that?
Well, funny you should mention 6.7 because, again, one of the other things I hoard is bottles of wine. And the challenge with 6.7 was that if I didn't do the work, I had to buy Andrew a bottle of wine. Well, that was never going to happen. So I didn't get a bottle of wine for it. I'd actually got to keep a bottle of wine. But again, discipline, making sure that I knew that the result, the punishment, wasn't going to be worth not doing the work. But as a result of that, recently, as I was discussing with you earlier this week, we've hit our sweet spot. I work with my wife, and we seem to have hit our sweet spot. So over the last 2 weeks, we've signed 3 new clients at an average price of, that's starting price, $36,000 for an annual, for a 15-month fee if they pay up front, or $45,000 if they pay monthly. And if they're in the US, they pay in US dollars as well. So we've signed 3 clients in the last 2 weeks, and over the last 2 or 3 months, there was another earlier client. So roughly that equated, I think we worked it out to about 170,000 Australian dollars in 2 to 3 months. That's exciting. If we can continue at that rate, I might be able to jump in the car and drive up to Queensland and compete in the golf tournament at Rob Nixon's next year. Watch out, Andrew.
And we look forward to having you up here for that. That'd be great. But yeah, what results? I mean, that's incredible to hear that's been coming off, and it follows on from I think almost from about December last year. There's been some great results there as well. Hey, just for someone who's watching this and is maybe on the fence thinking about joining us here at the Influencer Project, what advice would you have for them?
Well, it's advice that I preach to all my clients and to the general public, Vaughan. It's just simple. It's really difficult. It's very rare to find a business that has done everything internally. Most businesses outsource things because they need the outsourced expertise to come into their business. And that's what I needed. I needed discipline. I needed a coach that would give me guidelines and set me expectations and keep me accountable. And that's what the Influencer Project does. I have other coaches for other parts of my life and other parts of my business, but I've really enjoyed working with the Influencer Project because of that accountability. It's very difficult to do it on your own. You have to make stuff up. Why reinvent the wheel when the wheel is already there? The Influencer Project are the results guys, and it's a pleasure working with them. Most of them are good guys, most of them, but it's good fun.
Hopefully I'm included in that most. I know I'm the best looking at the Influencer Project, that's for sure. Well, hey, one last thing. If you were to describe our process with just one word, David, what would it be?
In one word, Vaughan, the Influencer Project is results. That if you want results, you've got to do the work, and that's what we're here for. We're here for results. We're not here for party and rub on the belly and fake stroking. It's accountability and results. So there's 2 words, actually 3 if you count and. Accountability and results. Let's call it 3. Let's call it 3.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much, David. It has been an absolute pleasure jamming with you today. And if you're watching this and you'd like to see the same sort of results as David, well, you know what to do. But David, thank you so much, and looking forward to our next 12 months of continuing to work together inside of our expert program.
Absolute pleasure, Vaughan. Thanks for having me today, and it is a pleasure working with you guys.